Hi, I'm Shane Bang with Mana Group, and I want to talk to you about one of the most important parts of purchasing your home, and that is the home inspection. When you purchase a home, you have many contingencies that you get to use to protect you in this large purchase. You have financing, you have appraisal, you have seller disclosures, all these things. The home inspection, though, I think is by far the most important. When you're buying a house, you want to be able to have an inspection and know quite in detail what you're purchasing. When we go to tour a home, you get to look, you get to see the walls, you get to check things out. But during a home inspection, the home inspector, and hopefully you'll want to hire a licensed professional unless you are yourself a contractor or maybe have been in the trades for a long time, I would suggest definitely hiring a licensed and bonded home inspector to go through, get into the attic, crawl in the crawl space. They'll go through, they'll check all your outlets, they'll check all these things. It is really a time for you to get well acquainted with your home. I advise my clients to definitely be present at the home inspection. It's something that is a great time. Oftentimes with home inspectors, they'll kind of tell you about different components of the house. So I know I personally don't drain my water heater, but I've heard the speech about, hey, here's how you hook up a hose, garden hose, to your hot water heater and drain it and refill it. That helps purge it of any sediment that is in your water and extends the life of your hot water heater. So that's like tips of like, hey, what do I got to do when I get into this house? How do I keep and maintain these things? What do I do with my roof? We live in Spokane in the Pacific Northwest. We have a lot of moss that can build up on roofs. How do I get rid of that without destroying my roof? So you get a lot of tips from a home inspector while you're there doing the inspection. But ultimately the goal is for them to check all the major components of the house. They're going to check appliances. They're going to check, like I said, in the attic for mold. They're going to look in the crawl space, make sure there's proper supporting, make sure you don't have like a water vapor intrusion issue. They're going to check certain things like sump pumps and make sure they're all working properly. They'll check electrical systems. They'll open up your electrical panel, check over each breaker, make sure everything's right. It really is super important because it lets you get very familiar with the home and know what you're buying, and then also be comfortable to know, oh, you know what, like these need major repairs. So you're gonna get to have the inspector go into the attic and check out all of the rafters and everything. Maybe it wasn't engineered right. Maybe we had seasons of a heavy snow load and that caused a couple of the rafters to crack or whatnot, which are very repairable things, but stuff you'd want to do prior to ownership and possibly ask the seller to complete on their own expense. So you get the home inspection to check out every nook and cranny of the home and they really understand what you are buying and giving you comfort in buying it. Also during this whole process, you get to negotiate once again with the seller. You get to say, hey, you know what, inspector found A, B, and C. We would like A, B, and C fixed before we complete this purchase. And that way you're moving in with maybe some maintenance that needs to be done is already completed and you're prolonging your bigger maintenance items that you would have to do in home ownership. Always with owning a home, there are things that you have to maintain and things break and we replace those. But ideally, when you first move into a home, we don't want you to be incurring those costs. It can be quite painful at the beginning of your home ownership. We do certain things to prevent that. We help you with a home warranty and we have thorough inspections. But the home inspection, super important part of the process. Something that's quite fun. You also can learn a lot about your home and the things that need to be maintained as you're living there. If you have more questions about this or you're wondering how the home buying process works as a whole, I would love to chat with you. Grab a cup of coffee. Feel free to reach out via email, phone, or text.